before we get into that and the second quarter. Around the grounds at Mount Waverley Reserve, it's the Waverley Blues 6-2-38 to Ferntree Gully 2 straight 12.
Settle down, Gav.
Snort.
George Costanza like.
Yes.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I think Blackburn need to kick the opening couple of goals in this quarter.
Well, if Balwyn get the first one, it could deflate the contest.
Open. But Blackburn they've got to hold sway here, and they've probably got to go back to what Brendan Allen has wanted them to do during their pre-season. But Balwyn are very good at picking apart the opposition coach's game plans very, very quickly.
Well, the start of the second term is about to take way, and here is Gav Casey.
Harry goes out, gets the higher hand, knocks it down to ground level. He's there to put his hands on it again, but he leaves his teammate into it, and it didn't go anywhere, and the tackle was laid by Urban. Good work by the Balwyn midfielder.
That's what you just mentioned, isn't it, Gav? Even if Blackburn do get hands on it around the coalface, they're just immediately tackled.
Well, that kick only goes a metre, and it goes to Balwyn's end, and it's now Rid turning around on a Fruppens, goes now the outer side. It's running to McCaffrey. McCaffrey's got an overlay to Urban. Urban at half forward. He's got time to spear it into the goal kicker extraordinaire. Goebel's on the lead. Wow, that's just precision football.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was, as you said there, Gav, like the way they moved that's almost a training drill. Get out of the stoppage, Bolt gets it at centre half back, he can go anywhere, it goes out wide, and then the overlap run, the way Urban ran on the diagonal to create the overlap handball. If Jeff Goebel's kicked this, it'll be his 450th Balwyn goal.
There you go.
And he does that thing where he just points it to the goals, like that's where you're going. As soon as it hits my boot. So 4 big steps in, he puts it to the right post. It doesn't come with any sort of win, and it misses the right side. So that's not his 450th, but it's a minor score to Balwyn. 5-5-35, leading by 28 early in the second term. Blackburn at 1-1-7.
Has he always done that little Josh Kennedy thing?
Yeah,
he does.
He does. Okay.
Haven't you watched that magnificent?
I've heard it. I've heard it.
You'd be one of the several 100,000
listen to it
as it comes out there towards the wing position. A little banana kick this time, inside boot, goes in towards the middle of the ground. Sitting underneath it there was Hart, but it got knocked away from him. Working the ball forward again. Oh, they're linking up too easily here. Here's Jaffa Williams on the left boot, and he hits the pine. So that
they're keeping Blackburn in it, Brash.
Another behind there to the Tigers. So on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, they are 5-6-36 and they lead 1-1-7 who are Blackburn. So a 29-point lead as Blackburn take off from the back pocket. Short passes on. The mark's been taken by Reed right in front of the club rooms, which I just don't know why aren't painted red and black. It makes no sense to me.
It's not the greatest aesthetic outside of footy season.
They're magnificent rooms, but give it a coat of paint. It's a big fly, but over the back there, Casey takes the mark and he's given a free kick away.
Maybe it's because it's designed by that famous American Frank Gehry, mate. The famous architect. It looks like one of his works.
You were speaking of George Costanza before. You'd want to be an architect, did you, Bash? As it comes out now, as Hart barges through and dispossessed of the football.
The great thing, he could have mentioned any name, and we just can't say anything. Can't say you're wrong.
So true. Rid gets it out wide. Here's McCaffrey on the left boot. He's such a lovely kick of the football, and you give a guy a rap and he throws it straight down the throat.
It was still a lovely kick, just went to the wrong team.
They'll square things up here. Burners backwards to go forwards.
Got to keep coming quick.
And short passes on. Here's Michael Dunn, whose brother Nick's listening on the broadcast, as I was told by his mum Helen at quarter time. So we'll give him a shout out as a kick's been chopped off there by Reed again. He's had a bit of football early in this second term. Short passes on if he wants it. He'll take it. Zagari. Slip, slop and slap today. Smart on the left boot. Drives the ball inside forward 50. Big fly over the back, and the second bite was that stolen by Haley. He just knows where to be, doesn't he, Charlie? And he missed it again.
He's got 2 goals, 3.
2 goals, 3 on the board now to Charlie Haley. And another behind, 7 apiece.
Scared the goal umpire, yelled at him.
Well, exactly. Charlie was ready he was running directly across in front of the rooms there, that celebration. But every time ball will go inside 50, it's dangerous, Brash. You think they're going to score?
Yep.
5-goal margin as the mark, Gav, has been taken by Hanley.
Hanley, nice diagonal kick to the wing. Quickly running forward is Lawler, gets it to full forward. Baffy gets underneath it. And a drop mark just when they were going to have a shot at goal, I reckon. And now it's a ball under all arms and legs and a ball up 30 out from Blackburn's goal.
The difference between, so again, Balwyn have only had 2 marks inside 450. So the difference going down there is not the drop, but it's immediately who's at the feet as soon as the drop was there. And Brooks has to do everything himself, whereas Balwyn have got Jaffa Williams, Haley, Sexton around the feet to Crumb. So that's the difference at the moment.
Quick clearing kick goes to Jaffa Williams. He picks it up on the bounce. He gets the hand pass over to Schruber, who uncharacteristically spills it and puts himself under pressure at half back. Now Blackburn a big chance. Going forward they do into the pocket, but the kick again doesn't hit a target and rolls out of bounds.
Every time they've created a turnover for themselves, Blackburn have not been able to take advantage of it at all.
So that's the difference in the skills is pretty obvious. And now but it's still a chance here for the Burners to get the first goal of the second term. Shallow ball in. Who's going to shoot? Anderson has to go off the ground, the ruckman, with his foot. And now tackled. Well, he's not holding the ball, says Ben, because the pickup from the Balwyn player, even though it was hot, he just spilled it like a sack of potatoes. But it's now a ball up, half forward for Blackburn.
That was one of those decisions last week I thought that the umpires had trouble for both sides adjudicating on. Ground
level ball. The midfielders go at it, bouncing ball, does fall the way of the Tigers again. Nicely done by Urban, pushed off his defender, but he backpedaled his way out of bounds, and he's probably happy with that result at half-back, just to get a 50-50 contest. 5.5 minutes gone, second term, the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. The host, Blackburn, on Good Friday, 1-1-7, trailing Balwyn, 5-7-37. 2 goals to Haley, and he's missed a few as well. And another ball up, says the umpire, as it comes from the contest. No ruckman's really getting the hands to advantage, and so that's why we're getting a lot of secondary ball ups and contests that are dribble kicks.
It's a very tightly packed. They're all very close. Sorry, he's pulling at a clearance here, but they're all very close, so there's no real width to create a sort of clearance, if you know what I mean, Gav?
Yeah, definitely. Now here's a chance for Blackburn to go to the middle of the ground. And Murphy runs onto it, gives it over to his teammate. Flying shot. Will the wind bring it back? Left from 50 out. Long kick. Was just sort of smoothly moving, but the kick missed to the slightly to the left.
Hanley
it was.
I thought it was Bartlett, but happy to be wrong.
Bartlett it was.
But he got very close to the Balwyn defender, had to kick it up, rather than, I think he wanted to kick through the ball and keep it lower, and that's where the wind obviously took it. But that was better from Blackburn, a nice bit of pressure, and they got the intercept in the corridor rather than near the boundary line.
It's what they needed to go through to build that confidence as well, because you're right, it was a lot better plays. A big mark's been taken there by Anderson, whose handball was a shocker, but they've got the time to still work the ball up towards the half-forward line. Here's the ball inside. Gobers went up for it at the fall of the ball. Handball out wide there by Powell. Linked up okay. Kick up towards the wing position. Had players free everywhere too, Blackburn. Just couldn't spot up that target. And over the boundary line she goes, right in front of the Tiger dugout.
Who's Blackburn's preferred ball user? Because at the moment you can tell Balwyn want to get the ball in the hands of Tom McCaffrey to use the footy. Who is Blackburn's Tom McCaffrey at the moment, Brad?
I think they'd like to get it in the hands of Xavier Murphy in the midfield.
Jared Beanland, boundary side.
I would suggest Liam Patterson. He started a pretty good play for Blackburn before with his kick off half-back. I think he's a pretty good ball user.
Thanks very much. What's the feeling like down there, Jared, at the moment amongst the fans?
Amongst the fans, a little bit more tense than I had expected, but like it's as Blackburn are starting to get their way back into the contest, there's a bit more shouting, there's a bit more happiness.
The ball goes up towards the Bathy direction, couldn't quite take the mark. He's been quiet. A big, strong tackle there by Downey, who brought his opponent down all right, and not rewarded, and will have a ball up.
At least Brendan Allen will be happy with the way Blackburn have responded.
Yeah, they're splitting even in the middle now, aren't they? Like the clearances, and there hasn't been too many this quarter, but Balwyn aren't just walking it out.
Yeah.
And when Balwyn have got forward, it looks like they've got numbers back to help out. It's now just putting it on the scoreboard, and you know they haven't really had, besides that Bartlett shot, they haven't had any sort of real movement.
No,
it's been pretty scrappy. So hopefully for them they can get a goal from a stoppage as we go down to Jared again.
Yeah, we've got Lewis Downey coming off with a blood rule, I believe.
That was Sexton.
That was Sexton? My bad.
No, Downey.
Was that?
Yeah, the Blackburn player. Right, he's going to cross Jared now.
Yep.
Yeah, but Will Sexton did walk off.
Sexton went off first. He was the first player to go off. He was sent off, yeah.
Double blood rule.
Throws it up.
That's the sequel.
Little flick over the back there. Conker being quiet. Goldwood pushes it to the left pocket and staying alive there. Pendlebury got his jukes on it, but he couldn't quite take it in the sun.
Thing is with Blackburn, every time they get a possession, they are under extreme pressure in their forward 50.
Anywhere on the ground, because Balwyn are so quick, they can close you down.
Well, they'd love something from this stoppage here. From the back, little handball. Lawler did a good tackle, but the Tigers just had the numbers once again to get the ball out. Not enough torque there by the Burners. They could have raffled a mark there. Instead, it goes up towards the Haley direction, who got worked underneath it, and he's screaming for a free kick, but it comes out towards the forward pocket where Goebbels was just waiting for it. He sat there, got the handball back. That was good play. This way, that way for Haley on the left boot. Little rubber kick really in the end, wasn't it? As it comes out, quickly chopped off there by Murphy, this time of the Xavier variety. Bangs it on his boot up towards the wing position.
Got to move it.
Move it faster, quick. Ryan. So Bathy, just a little chip kick in.
But look at the numbers. Balwyn had 4 back there, didn't they?
Giving them 15 seconds to all man up again as the kick now by Gray. Cuts across the middle of the ground. It was knocked away there by Sexton. That was really good. A good chase down by him. As the ball goes out wide, Conker, he was met by Sexton again. Got a little grubber kick on it over the boundary line. She goes for a boundary throw-in.
He did have to go quicker, but then he looked up and he had 4 Balwyn defenders and Jack Brooks. So his option was either to bomb it long and hope for a miracle, or he needed runners coming past, but they'd spent so much energy turning it over.
They needed the runners.
That's just what, at the moment though, Balwyn are just so far on top. The Blackburn have to go 110% just to get their hands on the footy, let alone score.
And Dove was in the front spot for the shallow throw-in, and
have another throw-in.
As expected, we'll do it again.
Almost felt sorry for Haley there. I reckon he was being dragged. And
I thought that might have been a free kick.
It was only his fairness not to go to ground that he didn't get paid the free kick, I reckon.
So it looked like Conker was slung off the football there, but the umpire said it was okay. Here's Urban linking up nicely with Smith. They go up towards the wing position here, but out of bounds it goes. Boundary throw-in. Nicely done by Jared Beanland.
First touch in 12 years.
We got it all on camera too. As it comes in, Dove took it out of the ruck, then threw it away. Umpire said play on. Probably should have been holding the ball. Cross was in there. Little handball over the top. Sparrow chasing after it. Conker in there too. And let's do it again.
You don't want to take that comment out of context, do you?
What's that?
His first touch.
Gavin. It's Good Friday.
How good a Friday. As the umpire is going to ball it up. Umpire Damien Sully, restart this nonsense.
Gavin, who told you?
Just flick over the back. Got go on the right boot. Got to have a laugh, don't you? As it comes up now. Switch could be on here. It's a risky kick, a very, very risky kick, and they should make him pay. Here's Bathy around the body. Can he get enough curl? He cannot. They just can't buy a goal at the moment. I don't know why my mic keeps cutting out, but it seems to be okay now. And you go bank scoreboard, 139 Blackburn, 6-5-7-37 Balwyn. Can't say it's been the most glamorous of second terms so far as the kick comes out wide, looking for Bottomer. As the kick repels back inside forward 50. Again, was Bathy. He's been around the football a bit, Bathy, in the last 5 minutes or so. Stripped of the football there was Hanley. It comes out now into the middle of the ground. Good pressure there by the Tigers. Working it forward through the arms there of Pollux, who got brought to ground. And we will have a ball up. True centre wing position out here, far side.
It seems like they're expending so much effort here. They're going to get a goal, you feel, but it's just going to be like we've worked so hard for one goal. It's taken them 13 minutes of not dominance, but they've been on top.
Goodbye, Harry. Punch forward, but it's been taken by Sexton, who runs around the whole pack of players, and his kick to Urban on the run was glorious. Now running onto the ball, cross, hands over to Pollux. Pollux has to stand still just for a moment, but he dodges a tackle, walks out of the tackle, short pass on the bounce to Lyle. Lyle gets a Jaffa Williams from 30 metres out. He's drifting left, and so did the ball.
That's another miss, but how good was that ball movement from Balwyn? They get it. They're so quick. I know Cross, the handball over top, he's under pressure, but it just created that overlap, Gav. And then again, like Pollock's kick's a little bit better. Lyle has a shot at goal, but they're about the finishing touches is missing, but Balwyn looked very impressive.
Well, it seems like Blackburn won territory, but it's not them with the hands on the ball. Quick kick forward, inside 50 ground level. Again, it's Urban. He's been taken to the ground in a tackle, and Blackburn just rescue the situation with a hard tackle on Urban.
So Jaffa Williams has had kicked 1 goal 2. Charlie Haley's had 2-3 with it out in the full. And then you've got Will Sexton missed a shot as well. So really, they've missed some pretty easy shots, Ball, and they should be further in front.
And it's now at half-back for Blackburn, and they just rush it out of bounds.
Boundary.
They seem like they go... Well, it's just in front of Jared for another touch.
Yeah, no, not quite. We've got Lewis Downey coming back on after he's been strapped up after that blood rule.
What did he do? Cop a knock to the nose.
I think it was a cut just around the nose somewhere.
It comes out now. Flick kick that time there by Rough's Edge. Up towards the wing position. They've knocked it forward over the back. Oh, strong tackle. Hitting the deck pretty hard there was Rid. But Blackburn, they're still working the ball forward now. It's gone inside forward, 50 or thereabouts. Charging through there is Bathy. Got stripped of the pill. The umpire said play on. They're not really holding the ball today at all, are they? They haven't seen it at all. Is Will Sexton, who flicks it over the back. It's got to sit nicely for them. And who's going? Oh, Blackburn just looks like the time stopped there for a second as the handball comes out towards the direction of Bartlett, who can't stay alive inside the boundary line. The paint beats the ball and we'll have a boundary throw-in.
You can't knock Blackburn this quarter, Brash.
No.
Besides the fact I think Baldwin's players are just better. Like the way Sexton stepped out of trouble there was magnificent. And then every time Blackburn get their hands on the footy, they just always look panicked or rushed.
Got a feeling they're going to get something out of this one as they're going up after it.
But you do know what's going to happen. They're going to have worked for 16 minutes to get a goal, and Baldwin will walk one out of the centre clearance.
That Sexton could be a bit of a fine for Baldwin.
Yeah, he looks very impressive.
Casey got the quick knockdown. The clearing kick went nowhere because Hinkley was underneath it for Blackburn, who swings around now and sends the ball right back to the hot spot. Long, deep kick as it goes towards the left back pocket, forward pocket.
Both the Sextons, Brash. They've been impressive.
Yeah.
And speaking of Jack, there he was giving the ball back to the umpire.
But once again, you got a bloke like Chris Pendlebury, once again doing exactly what good backmen do. When you're out of position, you punch the ball.
Well, again, another opportunity. Strong tackle by Reid. That was good. For good forward pressure, keeping the ball inside the offensive arc for Blackburn, they've been screamed. They've almost gone... 35 minutes without a goal. So they really need something to go through the big sticks, and they just might get it this time as a strong mark's been taken by Lewis Downey, who came back on with his own Jesus-like headband, and he will go back and have a ping from 35 out directly in front.
Yep.
It's a big kick, this, isn't it? Because of all their effort, he shakes this, it's just going to deflate them. Because they've done well to negate Baldwin to an extent. Baldwin could have easily kicked 2 goals themselves, but they haven't.
He needs to aim that. He needs to aim that right between the 2 jealous Craig signs there in front of the goal.
Are they sponsoring us today, Crunch?
No, I'm just.
They may as well be.
It's because of the wind.
I could do with some cheaper rent as it comes in now as Downey lets himself down and everyone else because he's kicked it behind.
Well, it is, but it's deflating because they've put in all this effort. They need reward for it, or else eventually you can't keep up this sort of intensity. Well, hopefully they can. But I don't think they can keep it up.
But
he
almost seemed like he felt rushed to take that kick.
Well, you do only get your 30 seconds, so maybe he did get rushed a little bit. But
scoreboard's been corrected too.
He had to convert that to give them that sort of that lift, because now if Vaughan got down the other and kicked a goal, it could really blow out.
So with Pendlebury kicking it out, it's like Blackburn, they get numbers to the next contest, but they put themselves off, and that's been knocked to ground where Urban was...
It's almost like they got too many there, but they have to have that many there to win it, because one-on-one Baldwin are probably going to beat them around the footy.
Yeah, it shows a lack of confidence at the moment when they're around the contest, and it flings its way out for Baldwin again, and Ailey just trods his way to it, drops it under a heap of pressure, and Blackburn, luckily this time, have got ground level numbers. The kick to the outer wing is now a run fest, and trailing is Lawler, and running a dance is beautifully by Rid. He just did steps and he dodged his own shadow in the end, kicked into the middle beautifully to Schreiber, and now they're going through the middle. Urban's on the end of it. He just bundles a kick forward. Lyle will run onto it. One hand held, one hand going for the mark. Nearly brings it in, but Blackburn now got some numbers, but under heap of pressure. Haley's there. Always danger. Picks it off from the pocket. He'll pull it around, and he's just got too much on it, and it's bent so much that it was curling away from the goals at the end.
It's almost like a reverse banana, wasn't it, Gav?
Well, he kept going. It was a nice hook on it, but nice call there, Gav, because you sense the occasion of Charlie Hay getting around the footy, but you can see the two sides there. Blackburn had an opportunity to spread. Kick from Patterson. Grubber gave Rid the chance to use his speed. Baldwin get it. not a mistake in there. Urban rushed his kick inside 50 under pressure, but the way that Reid was able to do his little goose step, bring it inboard, and then they just moved it. You can just tell the difference between the two sides, Brash.
And
you almost got an intro into the Friday preview with that call, Gav, and just not enough on it.
He's already in there, don't stress.
And now it's another chance here again. Is the danger man. Right boot, 40 out under heap of pressure. Bounce. Oh, don't tell me! It's reminiscent of a Shane Warne leg break. And that is magnificent. Just when you think he hasn't kicked a goal, he has. Haley kicks his third. It was at the... Let's get some context. It was at the behind post, bounced. Everyone went, "What the? It's a goal."
Well, it was a magnificent wrong and Gav. That you're right. That has gone at almost right angles. But Brendan Allen will be disappointed, and I'm sure it's a structure thing and whatever. But why was there no one sort of in the goal scorer as the loose player there, coming at the ball rather than running back with it? If you watch here on the replay screen, I think is it 29 down there. Hinkley, he's running back. He should be in the goal square going across and marking it. But, well, Charlie Haley's a freak. What has he got? Three and out in the full today. It could have been a big day for him, and it still could be, Gav.
They've toiled so hard, Blackburn.
That's deflating. I think the floodgates could open here.
Oh, you got your highlight, didn't you, Gav, as it comes in now toward Patterson, who was heavily met there by Jaffa Williams, who felt like he ran into a brick wall. And we'll have a ball up just forward of centre for the Balwyn side, who... doing it comfortably. 34-point lead they have as we're into time on in the second term. Knockdown comes, little handball out. And they scoot it out, trying to get there with Smith. The only player wearing long sleeves today.
Must be cold.
Yeah, I'm sure he's getting a few ribbings. As should have been a higher tackle, and the umpire thought was going to pay it there for a second, but he was blindsided. So no luck there to Jack Sexton. Slowly picks himself up from the deck. And we'll ball it up again as Big Harry went up that time against Anderson. As the ball comes down, who wants it? Who's waiting for it? Well, they all sort of waited for it in the end and just let McCaffrey pick it up.
Yeah, they stopped, didn't they? Blackburn players didn't want the ball.
So Harry and Anderson. Anderson got the flick down right on the 45-metre arc. And we will have a ball up.
Immediately, the umpires are making sure that every player earns their free kicks this afternoon, even when they look like they're there and they're not being given.
Oh, there we go. Car Sales is getting a good rap.
They are a sponsor.
The kick goes up towards the wing. And now Blackburn, a chance to go forward for them. Through the arms, I think that was Bartlett, and over the boundary line it goes.
That one there, Brash. Ryan Bathy, who at times last year tore games apart, was he as the forward was obsessed with his defender there in Freeman. He kept looking back to see where Freeman was. You're the forward. Go at it.
I was waiting for one of Brash's customary yeps as it comes in now. I knew you'd like that go as a little Zalach chasing after the football. Picked up there by Oglethorpe. They're just working it forward. Hitting the deck was Hanley. Got the handball out. Nice strong tackle there by Smith for the Tigers. And he is going nowhere. Got the umpire to ball that one up.
Well, they've worked hard for 22 minutes, Blackburn, for really no result.
Throws it up. Harry slapped it straight down the throat of the opposition. And a high tackle has been paid against Will Sexton.
No, Will Sexton will get the free kick.
On the right boot. Short passes on, kicks to Jack, who
don't do it.
Has been out of bounds is the call. What, a second bite over?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about that.
It's either on the full or a mark.
There wasn't no second bite. So knock on now. And that's not too bad as the kick goes right up towards the broadcast position. Going back with the flight and taking a beautiful mark there for the Burners was Jimmy Powell.
So Blackburn are starting to break even in the stats. They break even with the clearances. They've both sides have had one mark inside 50 this quarter, and Blackburn have had an extra intercept mark. They're just the scoreboard and probably the polish is the only thing that's differentiating the two sides at the moment.
Well, it's in the middle of the ground now, and they've got the turnover here. The Tigers as Urban gets a handball away. Here's McCaffrey. McCaffrey goes goalward. Which way will this one bounce? It stays alive and then rush through for a behind. There was no wronging or Oh no, what's the reverse to a wrong-un?
No, a wrong-un is the reverse.
He needed
a leg break.
I think he needed a Zuta.
A Chinaman.
That zooted. He needed to go the other way. Don't start me though. I'll keep going.
Spearing kick, that was a
This is
beauty.
better.
Lawler straight down the guts. It's the fastest way home as it goes down. Pendlebury got one hand on it. He's the only man back there for the Tigers. He keeps the ball alive and eventually it goes over and out, but that was better play.
Well, and Jared mentioned that Patterson needs to get his hands on the footy more, and obviously took the kick out there. That's an easy way to get your hands on the footy, but you can tell when he does get it right, he's a beautiful kick. Got it to Lawler, who's another beautiful kick, and they were able to at least get an even contest down there. Whereas that's the thing. Whereas Balwyn have got beautiful ball users all over the park, Brash. So that's a key area for Blackburn. Got to get the ball in the hands of those ball users.
Anderson in front of Brooks. He takes it out of the ruck contest, hands it to the boundary line where Cross escorts it over. So it's about 20 metres around from the behind post as Blackburn attack to the central road end.
Samuel Hart's another one of those ones that they need to get the hands in the ball off. He was a really impressive player on the wing last year for Blackburn. He's hardly touched it today.
This time Brooks gets ahead. He's knocked down. It's been well sharked. Quick kick. I think it was by Murphy. Misses to left as he was running towards
Number
the opposite
18 it was.
so that was Bajaya.
Lucky Bajaya.
Bajaya misses. As he's running to the opposite pocket, he just couldn't get the direction to
come. It was a nice snare though, wasn't it? Nice work through the contest.
Brooks got a front spot and it got a nice little tap towards him, and it was a unfortunate miss as Pendlebury, the general, kicks it out of Balwyn's last line. Long down the line where the ground level players are all Balwyn as they go through the middle of Moreton Park. But there's only one player inside their forward 50. Bounce of the ball will suit Blackburn, but here comes the cavalry, and it's McCaffrey picking it up on the bounce. He's quick kick on the left, misses to left and out on the fall.
It might have only been Jeff Goebel's 1-on-4, but if there was a player I'd back in, I'd give him half a chance.
Even the bounce of the ball doesn't suit Blackburn today. They are spooked by everything today.
Short passes on.
A lot of yelling, not a lot of movement.
And switch it up here, which is probably the way to go about it. As mark's been taken by Hinkley, who squares it up into the middle. It's a risky kick. You've got to be centimetre perfect if you want that to work, but it doesn't matter because Nick Gray was there to mop up the pieces, kicks it towards the Bathy direction, who was in the back spot there, but it might just stay alive enough for Bajaya, who did well. He got it away to a teammate there in Hart, who swings around on the right boot, kicks it to the top of the goal square. There's nobody home except Pendles, and on the right boot, kicks it out towards the back pocket, and they get away with it again.
So what Casey does is he's the second lockdown defender and allows Freeman to sort of be the Jeremy McGovern sort of float around. He did it beautifully there. That kick was pretty good coming in from Nick Gray there, but Freeman just came across the front of the contest, cleared it, and then again Blackburn had a chance, but once it hits the ground, it's all Balwyn at the moment.
The hyphen Jaffa Williams goes up towards the wing position, knocked over and nicely trapped there by the trainer from Balwyn.
But Brash, as soon as Blackburn and again Patterson started it and they got the switch and they're trying to use the corridor, the kick was, as Bedaria said, had to be perfect. It wasn't. They got away with it, but at least they're creating some run and some sort of flow.
They have to
come into the corridor more often.
Yep.
Well, Sparrow did really well in the ruck contest and then was doing the roving work as well and paddled it out and might just scoot out there. Cross got the handball away, looking for Sexton, dispossessed over the top there. Urban lays a strong tackle, will have a ball up. 27 gone here in the second term. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on EFNL Game Day. It's Good Friday football, Premier Division styles. And it's a strong lead, 45-11. Blackburn trailing Balwyn as a kick from the stoppage goes by Bajaya, inside forward 50 or thereabouts, and trickles over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in.
Get a late one. I'll give them a sniff here, Brash. They can get one in before half time.
But Balwyn just always seem to have numbers at the contest.
And poise. They haven't. Not one Balwyn player has looked rushed today.
No.
So we haven't seen much action really this quarter, but Gab brought the house down with that Charlie Haley goal. There's no doubt about that. As it comes out now, Blackburn screaming for a free kick, throwing the head back was smart football by Xavier Murphy, and he won the free kick, and he deserved it. It wasn't an act. It wasn't a Joel Selwood.
It's a big kick now. Like Brash, he can probably aim it left goal post, maybe a little bit further. But it's a tough kick, but if he kicks this one, it gives Blackburn a bit of momentum, a bit of belief, reward for effort. If they can go in under 5 goals down at half time, that's probably a lot closer than they should be on the balance of play.
Just keep your eye on Nick Gray there. Come out of that contest grabbing a calf there. So keep an eye on that, Jared.
So on the siren.
They need this goal just to have some momentum to take them into the second half.
That's an understatement, Brash. They need this goal. as Xavier Murphy goes goalward, and it's an absolute shocker.
That didn't
There is
spin, did
no score whatsoever. So out of bounds on the full is a result, which takes us to half time out here at Moreton Park on Good Friday.
And the obligatory Good Friday scuffle before half
guys,
time.
we've got an absolute brawl on here.
I wouldn't call it exactly a brawl.
It's a nice little friendly scuffle.
We're going to go to half time here because we need to take a breather, and so do all the players. So 6-9-45 is the ball inside. It's 3 goals to Charlie Haley. The rest are singles right across the board. Blackburn 1-5-11. We'll be back with the second half right after this across all our media
Today at
channels.
Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in.